I go backpacking quite a bit, as most of you guys know. And, well, besides just a backpacking trip, this is something different, something special to me, and I think it'll be special to a lot of you, especially you locals and you history buffs and historians and local stuff. But as you know, John W. Robinson passed away last month, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that guy. Back in, I'd say, 9th, 10th grade, somewhere around there, at the library, while looking for books, something interesting, I came across his book, 100 Hikes to the San Gabriels, and it took me to trails like this. This trail in particular, I'm not going to give any information on this video, I'm sorry, but there's reasons. I'll explain later. But the first couple miles of this trail, I've encountered one girl. She's ahead of me, I let her pass me. But I rarely see anybody on this trail. Further up, way up, where the trail ends, I've gone approximately 9, 10, maybe 11 miles past that, and I've never encountered another human being in my life in the time I've been backpacking. I've been up there quite a bit and never seen another person. And there's reasons for that. It's very hard. There's some dangerous areas. There's some really sketchy areas. There's areas when there's water, it's just impossible to pass through certain areas. But this trail, I thought would be the perfect place to do a memorial to Mr. John W. Robinson. When I picked up his books, I paged through, and all those photos I saw, most of them were from the 1800s and 1900s, and I thought, these places are all long gone. And it wasn't until mid-80s I really started exploring. Started out just fishing with some buddies of mine. But eventually that changed. There are literally thousands of miles of trails in the San Gabriels alone. And there are hundreds of canyons without trails that you can just explore. This is one of my favorite canyons, for many reasons. A lot of the San Gabriels were inhabited by a people that have come to be known as the Gabrielinos. That's the common name. The actual real name is debatable. Many people have chimed in on my channel telling me I'm wrong. I'm just going by the history books. Telling me I'm wrong and that it's this or it's this or it's this. It's just the native people. I'll just refer to them as the native people from now on. As you know, I'm not a politically correct person. I did not fold to that propaganda. So, a lot of the native people that I wouldn't say they lived in these mountains permanently. They did have permanent sites, but they were a nomadic tribe to the best of my knowledge. They traveled with the seasons, and John W. Robinson's books brings everything to life, from that to the gold mines to the prospectors' lives to everything. I mean, Sedley Peck, his wife, Trogdon, Vincent, Heaton, all of them, all of that history. I grew up watching, and I still watch, Bonanza, Gunsmoke, Rifleman, all those. And now those are not politically correct. But that's okay. They're just for entertainment. But they set me on an interest. All kids back then were interested in cowboys and Indians. I was always the Indian. My brother, sometimes an Indian, sometimes a cowboy. But we had railroad tracks going by our house where my mom and dad live, and the conductors were cool. Back then you had these bow and arrows that shot suction cup arrows, and the cap guns with the rolled caps. We would stand on the tracks, play chicken. The conductor would just blow his horn, big old smile on his face. He knew we were gonna jump. He knew we were not stupid. But it went right by some orange groves. We'd pelt the train with oranges, and the orange groves were filled with rabbits. I'd try to take the suction cups off my arrows and sharpen them into a point on the curb. Try to get rabbits. My sister would help us build little fire rings. We met real hobos, early 70s, getting off the freight trains. We brought him down some canned goods. He opened them up, cooked it right there in the orange grove. We had lunch with a hobo. We rode the train with him for a little while. Life was great back then. It's nothing like it is now. Kids were more self-reliant, self-sufficient. It's a different world. But, sorry you got off the track. But, John W. Robinson's books brought it all back. Brought my childhood back. It's still with me. A lot of you know that. I'll be 53 in October. And I'm still hanging out with Peter Pan. I've seen a lot of things in the San Gabriels, but check this out. Do you see what I see? Look at that for a minute. What do you see? See if you get it before I say. Let me point it out. Look at the cheekbone, the eye, the mouth, the jaw, the shoulder. Oogie boogie. Look at that. It's Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. Most everybody who hikes the San Gabriels has had this or has this, and if you don't, you should get it. 100 Hikes of the Angeles. Originally by John W. Robinson, with the last couple editions with Doug Christensen, and now it's any updates are going to buy Doug Christensen. Because John W. Robinson passed away last month. It's I don't know. For a lot of people it's really sad. But with my beliefs, he's in a better place. And 3 or 4 years ago, I met the guy at a book signing. Took my daughter, met him, put a Leatherman in his hand. He said, all these years, everybody's been wanting to get something from me. You're one of the first ones to give something to me. So his publishers were there. They didn't speak to me then, but they found me through my YouTube channel. And about 2 years after that, they contacted me and said, they thought I knew the guy for some reason. I guess because I mentioned him in many videos. But I've been doing his hikes since the beginning of the 80s. 82, 83, somewhere around there. Done every hike in this, then almost every hike in the San Bernardinos. Multiple hikes. So they contacted me trying to get a hold of him because his Costa Mesa address was no longer getting response. Well, he told me at the book signing that he was done. He goes, I'm done. No more hiking. Maybe some small hikes with friends, but no more books. I'm done. And he died at age 88. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But I told them, look, I don't know the guy. Well, he passed away. Since he's passed away, they've contacted me twice wanting a book out of me. They asked me to write a memorial to them. I wrote for them. I wrote that memorial. I don't know where it's going to show up. If it showed up in a newspaper, a hiking magazine, or in a future book, I don't know. But I have the original copy in here. I'll read it to you in a minute. So I'm going to read you what I wrote to him. But you can look it up online. Here is his clipping in the newspaper. I'll be 53 in October, and my eyes are going, so I have reading glasses now. What I do for work is really intricate work, and that doesn't help. Plus, I don't know, just age. I'm on my way out. So, author of Local Hiking Guide dies at 88. The boy who left the streets of Long Beach and followed rivers and dark canyons of the San Gabriel Mountains, and who as an adult led millions down similar paths, discovering through his 26 hiking guides and historical books, has died. Wilderness author and local historian John W. Robinson died in his sleep April 24th at the age of 88. A loss of hiking enthusiast and naturalist, tempered only by a wealth of material he left behind him in Southern California mountain ranges. In 1971, when he wrote this, it published 100,000 copies. You can read more about this yourself. But I have something, I know this is not going to get to him. It's just a symbol of my respect for the guy. Mr. John W. Robinson, one cannot enter the San Gabriels without your name being in mind. You changed the lives of many thousands, including myself. I had always loved the outdoors, but your books, your maps, your stories took me to places few will ever go. You filled my mind with wonder, adventure, history, and in this I found everything my life totals today. In a way, you gave me goals, which brought all new friends into my life, which in turn even took me to other countries. Although I am certain I am not the only one, I took all you shared and shared all you wrote. I did my best to give your hikes, your trails, a face today's generation can grasp. Using video, I shared your stories with tens of thousands in hopes to plant a few seeds that will grow in a few of them to love and tend the trails as I have. All my friends I started these trails have since passed on. I hope they are there to show you trails in heaven. Your books have in a way immortalized you. Your name will never be forgotten. Thank you for a lifetime of work and an incredible life your work has given me. Peace be with you, brother. Alan, also known as PHARRAOH. So I'm going to take this and a few small items. A compass that's been with me for 20 years. That didn't work after the first 6 months. Just one of those little tiny ones. But a friend of mine gave it to me, so it's been with me. And the Eye of Ra has been with me since 10th grade. And it's going to go in this envelope. And this envelope is going to be put somewhere where it'll never be found. I think it's more or less symbolism. I'm just leaving that behind as a sign of respect. But you can sit home and think about doing something, or you can get out here and do it. Life is short. I'm making the best of it. Seems like yesterday my daughter was born. And now I'm going to teach her to drive. She's 17. It's about time she learned. Rest in peace, brother.
Oh man, look at my life. 24 and there's so much more. Live alone in a paradise that makes me think of two. Love lost, such a cost. Give me things that don't get lost, like a coin that won't get tossed, rolling home to you. Lullabies, look in your eyes, run around the same old town. Doesn't mean that much to me, to mean that much to you. I've been first and last, look at how the time goes past, but I'm all alone at last, rolling home to you. Oh man, look at my life, I'm a lot like you Hello, darkness,
Star.
my friend.
Our planet.
I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light. Split the night and touch the sound of silence, and in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool, said I, you do not know, silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach reach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell.
Look, there's something up there in the trail. See that? Let's see what it is.
And the people bowed and prayed.
It was blinking. Yeah, it did move. Whoa! It is an animal. It looks like a bird. An owl? Oh, how cool! It was an owl! Look where I am. Back to the road. Yes.
To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season.